Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Henry Carter Hall Library in Clinton, Connecticut. Our project is called The Stories That Veterans Tell. Today is on Monday, November 1st, 2021, and I have the privilege and fun of interviewing Robert VanGaasbeck, who is going to talk to us about his service in the Air Force. And so, Bob, what made you choose the Air Force?
In those years of the 60s, do you recall what happened?
Well, I recall the war, I recall the draft, and I recall the birthday time when there was a lottery for entrance on birthdays. Does any of that relate?
A lot of it rings a bell.
Okay.
I was graduated from high school in 65. Should have been 64, but I was on the 5-year plan.
The 5-year
Yeah,
plan?
it was good.
Yeah.
So, back then in the mid-60s was the Vietnam War. And the protests started somewhere in that era, 64, 65, 66, about what we were doing there, why are we there, for all the various reasons that we had with Iran or Iraq currently. So at that point in time, they started a draft lottery to make it more fair, because back then, if you had a certain stature in the community, a certain amount of political influence, there's ways around going in the military.
Okay.
So with the draft, your birthday, in my case, August 28th, number turned into somewhere, as I recall, in November
Okay.
of any particular year. So in the first year of the draft, if you were not called at all, you went through 12 months,
Yeah.
you're done. You don't have to worry about it.
Good.
Unfortunately, that didn't happen.
Uh-oh.
And I got called up in November of probably 1970.
Okay.
See, I had used all sorts of deferments
Okay.
to get out of the Army. Either back then if you were in college, you got a deferment. If you were married, you got a deferment. If you were married with a child,
Yeah.
you had a deferment. Then they did away with all that.
Oh,
And they
okay.
caught up to me.
Oh, okay.
So I, unfortunately, so in the year, I believe it was in 1969 or 1970, I got called up
All right.
by the Army.
And how long did they give you to show up?
Well, then we got into another, to show up. How do you mean by show
Well,
up?
you got drafted by the Army, and when were you supposed to report for that? I mean, how long did you have to make a decision whether you were going to enlist in another branch or not?
Almost immediately.
Oh, okay.
At that point, either you had to do some other branch of the service, either Air Force, Navy, Marines, in order to get a waive, so you didn't get into the Army for 2
Right,
years.
okay.
Fortunately, I did the Air Force.
And what appealed to you about it?
I wasn't in the Army.
Okay, that's okay. I wondered if that
you
was
got
the
the
answer. I
answer.
got the answer. I thought it like that.
Jeez.
And, all right, so you enlist in the Air Force. Where did they send you?
Oh, Texas. San Antonio, Texas.
Okay.
Down by the Alamo. So I had to do my 6 weeks basic training down there. And then they sent you OJT up to, oh, God, Lynn, Wichita Falls, Texas.
Okay, so two
You-
places in Texas.
You went from the southern part of Texas, down by Mexico.
Yeah,
Up to the northern part of Texas, the Panhandle, up by Norman.
okay, Oklahoma, okay.
God, that's not a good place to live.
Okay, you didn't like it?
No.
And what was the secondary training after basic were you able to, like take aptitude tests and they slated you, or you chose, something to specialize in?
They, with my background, with the degree from college,
Yeah.
master's degree from college, I enlisted or applied for, I think it's called
OCS?
OTS,
Okay.
Officer Training
Yeah,
School.
okay.
At which point to become a pilot,
Oh, wow.
which was fine. But to come to find out, I'm colorblind. I can't see allegedly vivid colors.
And that's,
So what you see in this coat
yeah,
is not what I see in
wow.
that coat.
And that's critical for flight, evidently.
I just see this.
Yeah.
I guess
Yes.
so. It would be helpful.
It would be helpful, okay, all right, so, and was that the first time you knew that?
Yes.
Okay, you thought
Yes.
everyone saw the way you did?
I have no idea where they came up with this. I really didn't. But, okay, so that got shot down. So then, being older than the normal basic
Yeah,
trainee who's 18 or 19, I'm 25,
okay, yeah,
and I got labeled as Gramps.
aha,
So I took a lot of criticisms
I took a,
because I wasn't in OTS.
yeah.
And I was down with the regular trainees.
Okay,
So from there, they determined, because of all my college, we will have them be an accountant.
okay. Now, did you major in accounting when you were in college?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Accounting and business.
okay,
But in doing that, I took courses at University of Southern Cal, online courses being aerodynamic engineering,
wow, okay,
how planes fly,
Yeah.
drops, lifts, and all that stuff, as to whether I wanted to go that route.
did you find it interesting?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, USC, imagine
Yeah,
a degree
yeah.
from USC.
I mean, that you were like at the forefront of online learning in a sense.
Probably,
Yeah.
probably, so, but no, I got sent up to northern Aroostook County, Maine.
All right. I think our viewers may not know the absolute wonderful things about northern Aroostook County, Maine, that you might share with us now. When you say northern, is it really northern?
Most people will go to southern part of Maine, Saco, Bangor,
Yeah.
et cetera, et cetera. Have you ever followed Route 1, the shoreline, all the way up to Holton?
No.
And
Okay.
then from Holton, I forgot the name of the route, from Holton north, you keep going north, you keep going, on your left is, what's it, Mount Katahdin,
Okay.
Mount
Oh, right,
Katahdin.
yeah, yeah.
where everybody, all the hikers are
Right.
and all this stuff. And you keep going north and north and north, and then you get to Friendly, Fort Fairfield, Presque Isle, Mars Hill,
Oh, okay, yeah.
et cetera, et cetera. And there's nothing out my back door but the St. Johns River
Oh,
in
interesting.
Canada.
Okay. Now, why is there a base there?
The big black B-52s were coming in from Vietnam,
Okay.
going over the North Pole,
Oh, wow.
over the North Pole from Nam, landing at our base,
For refueling?
refueling, pay,
Okay.
and recreation.
Oh, so you were an R&R spot.
Well, as much as
How much R&R is there in
possibly
North?
get in 20-degree below weather, and the runways are all heated
Oh, yeah.
to keep the ice off the runways.
Okay.
With these big old bombers coming in.
Wow.
Uh,
Now, what did they have you doing up there?
accounting.
Just, okay,
We paid, well, you paid the people on the base,
Yeah.
plus the pilots or the crew of the airplanes
Right.
that come in.
pay for the gas?
And
the
show them
fuel?
where the NCO club is.
Okay, okay.
They're
And they
having a
were
good
glad that
time
there
over
was,
there.
they were glad that there was one, so this is good. Now, am I right in thinking that, you were married at the time and so, how fun was that for your wife?
She didn't know Maine existed beyond Saco and Old Orchard Beach.
Okay,
That was it, 'cause that's where she and her folks used to go on vacation.
okay.
Everybody goes to the
Southern part of Maine, right, the Maine coast and so on, yeah.
Kennebunk.
Yeah.
But up in the northern part, all they have is lumber. They
Okay,
got the big lumber mills up there and the minerals and the trees are on the lumber trails that they cut, ship them on down south. And potatoes.
Maine potatoes.
Kids, probably, who knows how old they were, yay high. They go to school in August, so in September, school's closed, so they can pick potatoes.
Wow.
But nobody lives up there. After they grow up, they all go to
Yeah.
Boston.
Yeah.
Who wants to live up there?
How long were you there for?
A winter.
Oh, the longest winter of your life. The endless winter.
You had to plug in your cars to keep the cars, the oil warm.
You're kidding.
All the
Whoa.
cars were plugged, or the base cars had to be plugged in.
Oh my goodness.
And through double pane windows in your apartment, there was ice on the inside.
Oh my goodness.
You couldn't see out, you couldn't see in, you
Oh.
couldn't see out.
And I bet in the winter it was pretty dark most of the time because you were up,
Yeah.
closer to
Yeah.
the Arctic Circle than maybe Connecticut.
It was up there, but it was interesting to see the animals, the moose, the bear.
Yeah.
Go to the St. John's for, water or food, what have you. So, and from there, the Vietnam War, this was 71, going into 72. The war started, they started sending the guys home in 72 to 75, as I recall.
Yeah.
And in 72, who was it, Nixon? I think it was Nixon. Or it was either Nixon or LBJ.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which one. And at that point, you were offered, do you want to become a lifer?
And what'd you say?
Well, now you're married,
Yeah.
now you have a kid. Then Linda's dad died,
Okay.
and he had a heart attack. And you had a decision, you're gonna stay in, or you're gonna get a discharge. So we got a discharge.
And you came back to
Civilization.
East Long Meadow, yes. When you were serving, did you have a commander, who you really liked his style, his leadership abilities? Or did you find that because of your duties, you were really kind of more on your own than a typical airman?
The problem with that is it was so long ago.
Okay, so nothing stands out?
Nothing, no, other than, I remember boot camp, and I'm sure Lance and the others told you about your little locker. Everything had to be in a little place, everything had to be just so, and your bed sheets had to be, what do you call that, where they had to fold them?
Oh, right, yeah, four square corners or?
Whatever.
Yeah.
So I remember, of all people I remember, is my drill instructor.
Okay.
Of all people.
And so he, all those
Holy
things you
Jesus.
had to do, he instilled in you.
I believe his last name was, to this day, was Lopez.
Okay.
Lopez.
Yeah.
Little guy, but he was.
He
was a big tough son of a gun.
Okay. All right, now did you, all right, Air Force man, did you fly a lot of places? Did you not have that experience at all?
No, I didn't. We drove.
Okay.
We drove, we took a bus from, no, we didn't. Linda was with me. We drove from Basic up to Wichita Falls.
Okay,
And then from Wichita Falls back up here,
all
and
right,
then to northern Maine
Maine.
was all driving.
okay, so,
What plane? We didn't go to any planes.
all right, now, all right, so how long did you serve totally?
Oh, 15, 16 months.
Yeah, and so on, and
Give
so.
or take.
Yeah, and would you say there were aspects of what procedures, the way you approach things because of your military training that just came over to your professional life afterwards? Like the way you do a task, the way you, attention to detail, just any of those qualities that the military service engenders?
Now, keep in mind, you're back in the 70s, and anything electronic, you're working with typewriters, the old Royal and Olivetti typewriters with the ribbon,
Yeah,
with the ribbons, and the adding machines.
okay, yeah.
Some of them you had a handle you had to pull.
Oh, right,
This is
yeah.
the military, this was, so there wasn't really any state-of-the-art equipment at all
Yeah,
that you were using. This was pre-IT.
Yeah.
This was way before
Yeah.
computers.
yeah.
So is there anything
Well, I would think that if you were majored in business, accounting, trajectory and so on, that you are probably someone who works really well with structure and precision. Things have to add up, and you will be relentless until you make sure that it comes out right. Is that
But that was more from Dad.
okay? All right.
Now, Dad, he was,
Did he serve in the military?
yeah, he was a World War II test pilot.
Oh, all right.
Taught flying and I believe did some testing of planes.
Wow.
at Chanute. I think that's Illinois,
Okay,
Indiana or Illinois. But his life, when he was working, do you remember the Excel, the spreadsheets?
Yeah,
The paper
right.
spreadsheets?
Yes,
the
yes.
multi-column?
Oh, yes. They were that light green with the
Yeah.
orange lines
He had
and that sort of.
spreadsheets for everything.
Oh, wow.
I washed the car on January 1st, I washed the car on January, he kept notes on everything, on
Wow.
spreadsheets.
Oh, my,
On his little card table, he set up next to his bourbon.
and his reading chair.
Yeah,
And so, oh, my
yeah.
goodness.
So you couldn't help but learn some degree of structure
Yeah.
from that
Yep,
upbringing,
yeah,
which you brought over to the military, which you bring over to somewhat to today. So, I mean, I told you maybe several months ago, there was a piece of software out there that you could use keep all your passwords
right?
and
Yeah.
usernames on, but you would prefer doing it your way and not this way. But this way is structured.
Yes.
This your way
is-
is you're comfortable with your way, but this
That's
way, so. But do you want your life structured like that too?
So, it could, yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
I don't
it's,
know.
but when you need that password, you need that password. So if it's on your phone in a spreadsheet, that's good. If it's on my kitchen counter on a piece of paper, that's maybe not so good.
So I really, other than the drill sergeant, and that you were in the military in the early 70s, which was a time of protest. This was Kent State,
Yeah,
where the military went in, killed 6 or 7
Right.
kids, for what? This was Nixon.
yeah,
And this was the day and age, so nobody wanted to go to do to Nam. So that was the age you were brought up in.
right. Did you watch the Ken Burns specials about
Some
that
of them,
time?
yeah, he's an excellent. Isn't he a good writer
Yeah,
or a
yeah,
good producer?
Yeah,
He is
yeah.
super.
yeah,
He knows his stuff.
yeah. Let's see, was there any memorable, people you served with? Did you keep in touch with anyone, after, you left the service?
No, not really. A quick funny story for you. Friendly Fort Fairfield. There was an apartment that we got, Linda and I and Chrissy, that its walls were not up to the ceiling.
What?
So, yeah, so when you see Linda, ask her about
Okay.
this. So literally, when you went into the closet, if the wall ended up here above your head, you could see your neighbor
Oh my goodness, that is,
in the next apartment over.
so were you whispering all the time?
Oh, God.
Oh my goodness, that's so strange.
Downtown friendly Fort Fairfield.
Wow, wow, wow. Oh, that's.
And it was, I guess it was legal, it was permitted, I guess.
Oh my goodness. And that was in Maine or in Oklahoma?
Maine.
Maine, that was in
Maine.
Maine.
Downtown
Wow.
friendly Fort Fairfield.
Friendly Fort Fairfield. Gosh.
So just
Yeah, I will
picture,
ask her about the walls of the apartment.
just picture trees and fields of potatoes and potato barns that many of them had been burnt down because the economy
Wow.
was not so
Yeah.
good, so allegedly, the owner was collecting the insurance money rather than try and sell
Wow.
the potatoes. And that was
It's
it.
a hard life.
Oh, it's terrible life up there. And all it did was snow. day in, day out, snow. And it's flat, so you had nothing but drifts.
Oh, my, yes.
Drifts.
Oh,
And on the side of the roads, the snow was piled so high by the big town trucks that people had to have a ball on top of their antenna. These were the old cars.
yeah.
So you could see if there was anybody at the corner.
Oh, my goodness.
Checking his ball.
Right.
Yeah, there was so
Whoa.
much snow.
Oh, my
It's
gosh.
God's country up there. It is desolate up there.
That must have seemed
man.
endless.
Oh, it is. One winter.
Wow. One winter will do it.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, my goodness.
So then,
Yeah.
then Linda's dad died. We made the choice,
Yeah. Yeah.
and everybody they were beginning to send the guys home.
So, yeah, that was
The
the
war
right
was
time. Yeah.
winding down. We lost it.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so now when you got out of the service, as with most veterans at that time, there was no acknowledgement, there was no, nothing, I mean, other than possibly scorn.
Correct.
And so that's a hard thing
Yeah.
to handle when, I mean, you gave up that part of your life in service of the country.
Absolutely, correct. Just like Ron. He
Yeah.
went through the same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Worse than I did.
So like if people now, the times are different, and that's a good
Yes,
thing.
yes.
But when people say, thank you for your service to you now, how do you respond to that?
Nobody's ever thanked me. They don't know.
They don't know.
Yeah, I'm just, here comes a middle-aged guy, middle-aged, in his 70s, and these kids, they don't even know Vietnam.
Yeah.
They
that's
don't
what-
know Korea. They don't know that stuff.
Well, I think that's one of the reasons we wanna have those stories
Yeah, I
told.
mean, It's, yes, that's probably, obviously, a very good cause to be recognized, to have people recognize you for what you did, whether it was 4 years, 3 years, 2 years. But at least you went in.
Yeah.
At least you went
yeah.
in, and you didn't burn your draft cards, you didn't go to Canada.
Right.
And et cetera, but yet, everybody's protesting, they're marching, they're killing people at Kent State
Yeah.
at the same time. No,
Yeah.
it was not a
It
very
was-
good year.
It was such a complicated and really tough time. It's lots of change, lots of uncertainty. It was, it was so complex, so complex. Is there anything that, if you think about it, you'd like people to understand who hadn't been in the service about what it was like for you in any way?
I mean, again, the service now is so changed. And they got drones.
Yeah,
People they can operate as a drone out of Colorado, and like they did at the airport at Kabul,
yeah,
and hit the wrong person. If it was Colorado, but irrespective of where it was from, it hit the wrong person. It's all IT stuff. It's all IT, techie stuff.
yeah.
I mean, even their equipment's techie. So what you saw back 30, 40 years ago is long gone.
Yeah. Very
Who knows I don't know what it's like nowadays.
Yeah.
Does Ron?
No, I mean, I think that to have current veterans, we need those stories so that people of different generations and different times of service can understand what it was like. I mean, I know the, you know, officers and people today who are serving want to have that connection with those who came before them. And, you know, and as, you know, we lose more and more of them.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
With age, we need to know about that.
That you do,
Yeah.
that you do.
Any other stories you want to tell for the record? All right, here's that. Now, did you get, how did you communicate? I mean, Linda was with you for, she traveled with you, and so that was great. You did, but how did you communicate with your folks back home? Did you get care packages and?
Life, I shouldn't go that way. Oh yeah, I mean, my parents and her parents, I'm sure the letters were written in the care packages, like you say, etc. But we were kids. We were kids. With Chrissy was 2 years old. She was born 70. So she was 2 years old.
Yeah.
And you're going to Texas with a baby?
Yeah.
And then you're going to Northern Rustic with a baby?
Baby.
You know, I mean, that's not supposed to happen.
But there you were, your
There you
family
were.
was a military family.
Yeah, at that point, yes. But probably one of the biggest parts of Texas, have you ever been to Texas?
No.
It's hot and flat,
Yeah,
and the ground is like this table.
okay.
And if you find a pool, a pond, a lake, in a hot day, you go in it.
Okay.
So, look, we were in it, the three of us, and all of a sudden, you see, did I ever tell you this story?
No.
You saw this head come up above the surface. And he's coming right at us. He's coming right at us, and we didn't know what the hell it was. So yours truly, abandoned ship, ran for the I suppose something solid that
In the car or something, yeah.
and left Chrissy and Linda in the lake. Was a turtle.
No.
It was a turtle.
Oh my.
Big old turtle.
Oh. With probably big old chomping. Oh, good. Oh.
Oh,
Giant
God.
turtle.
Oh, yeah, I was
Oh, yeah.
protecting the country. Yeah, right.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
No,
Okay.
that and the windows that were always iced up.
That's, I mean, you saw stuff you never would have seen.
No,
You know,
yeah, you're right.
Yeah, without.
Do I wanna see it
No.
again? No, no. Have you ever been to northern Maine?
No, the furthest north in Maine was Bangor.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you get that far up north, they ran out of names for towns. They're numbered. The towns have numbers. Town number 1.
Oh my goodness.
Town number 2.
Wow.
They've
Wow.
numbered the towns.
Oh, that is
And
rural.
why are we up here?
Yeah.
Give it back to Canada.
Canada, they want it. Canada. Oh. Oh.
So,
Well, this is great. I am so glad that you did this. I mean, this is a slice of a veteran's life that is unique to you, and that's important and good.
if it was a different time, different era,
Yeah.
I mean, you can never promise or never say there's gonna be no wars.
Right.
But because the protests were so bad and the killings were so bad, you really didn't think twice about staying in,
Yeah.
being alive.
Yeah.
You got out,
Yeah.
period, that's it, you didn't think really twice
Yeah.
about it. Unlike today, I mean, Lance didn't stay in
No.
either.
No.
He was 10 years after me.
Yeah.
And today, if you stayed in, it's not a bad life. You get to see parts of the world
World,
you
yeah.
never see. For 20 years, do your tour of duty and then get out. No, it's not bad, given the right.
Given the right, yeah,
But you-
and a whole lot of luck.
A whole lot
And
of
a
luck,
whole lot
yeah,
of luck, yeah.
yeah. So the thing with Biden, I'm just adding this,
Yeah.
my own personal opinion. When Biden got up there and said, this is not gonna be Saigon, this was back in Afghanistan, when it was evacuating people from Kabul at the airport, and everybody, there's bedlam everywhere. And at the same time, you see the helicopters taking off from the embassy in Saigon,
Yes,
because the VC were closing in. North Korean, or North Vietnamese were closing in. Helicopter after helicopter was landing, taking out interpreters,
right, yeah.
people that work for us. And the same thing happened in Kabul. Identical thing. It shouldn't have happened.
It's,
If Trump did his thing back in the early part of this year about pulling out, where were we for 3 or 4 or 5 months? Why didn't we do anything? I don't know.
it's incredibly, incredibly,
And you saw the planes, people hanging
Yeah,
off of
yeah.
planes, hanging off of helicopters, and they still got Americans over there.
it's,
Shouldn't have happened.
okay, I'm going to
All right.
stop our.
How they do, boss, all
You
right?
did great.